Welcome back. Now, there are several instances inside of the screens where you're going to be uploading your videos where you are going to be required to upload some graphics for your videos. And you may want to have some of these graphics created. So this video is going to detail the graphics you're going to need for your account. So to create the necessary artwork, when you're creating episodes or episodic videos, you are going to need seasonal art. And those are going to require some specific aspects to the graphics. You're going to need a widescreen aspect. You're going to need a 1920 by 1080 photo to appear correctly, and it can be JPEG or PNG. Now, there's key art that you'll need to create that is also a 4 by 3 aspect ratio. That'll need to be 1600 by 1200, JPEG or PNG. And there is an optional file that you'll want to upload that's a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It's 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG, and this is going to be a background image. It's only going to appear on the devices in order to convey mood. And you'll see the request for the 3 of these when you are uploading your image. You'll see one here in the key art area as well as the background image. Now, you can also include artwork for individual episodes. That episode will require a key art aspect ratio of 4:3. It'll need to be 1600 by 1200, and it'll be JPEG or PNG. And you'll see that request when you are uploading your individual episode video. Now, for the standalone videos, the key art will have a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It'll need to be 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG. Now, you'll also have another key art piece. This time, though, it'll be 3 by 4 aspect ratio, so not 4 by 3. That means then that the art will be 1200 by 1600. And again, you want to pay attention to that. It's a little different than the other size. That'll also need to be JPEG or PNG. Now, there's also space for a background image, and it'll need to be 1920 by 1080, JPEG or PNG, and once again it's going to be optional because it's only designed to convey mood on certain devices. And you'll see that here in the standalone upload section where the second key art piece is 3 by 4. Now, there's also a landing page that you're being given and you're going to be able to use along with your videos that will require you to have a logo. That logo will need to be 950 by 250. You'll need to use a PNG with a transparent background. You're also going to have a background image that will need to be 3000 by 600, as well as another background image which is 1920 by 720. So one question is, well, how will you create the designs? Now, what you can do is you can hire out the base design. You can hire those designs out on Fiverr or the Warrior Forum in the Warriors for Hire section. Now, when you do hire out these graphics, you want to make sure that you ask for the PSD file. In some cases, the designer may ask you for additional funds to do that, and it's actually going to be worth it for you to get those PSD files because you will then be able to adapt them and brand them for future designs when you do more videos. And you'll be able to keep a consistent design across all of your videos. Now, to do this, you are going to need some graphic editing skill, not a lot, but a minimal amount, and you'll need some kind of graphics editing application, something like Photoshop or an equivalent one. Now, another way for you to create the designs is to manipulate existing designs. You can use private label rights content where you have PSD files or graphics already, and you can change those designs to reflect your videos. If you have some kind of graphic design software application, this will be fairly easy. What you'll need to do is you'll need to use the flat PSD graphic, and by using that graphic, you'll be able to manipulate the design for the different sizes. Of course, you can also use a design program like Canva where you can do the design yourself from scratch. And of course, you can always use a hybrid version of all of these methods. You're now looking at a flat graphic design from a private label rights product inside of Photoshop. And what we can do is we can go and open a new file. It's going to be one of the dimensions that we need. So for example, we would go to this file area. We're going to click new. We're then going to open up this new size, and we want this new size to be 1920 by 1080. We're going to click create. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our flat design. We're first going to select all. We're going to then copy merged. Then we're going to go back to our new design, and then we're going to place that design and paste it in. Now this is a 1920 by 1080 image, and so we want this design to be able to fit what we're trying to do. Now, when you have a PSD file, you can manipulate the size of this file without losing the proportions of the graphics and the text on the design. So for example, what we can do is we can zoom out of this design, and then we can grab the handles and we can manipulate the design in order to fit our canvas. We can make sure that we keep the aspect ratio in Photoshop. And once we have our design the way we want, all we're going to do is we're then going to click this button. We're going to apply the design, and you'll notice then that it'll actually clear up. We can then save this design as a new file, and we can save it as a new file in the format that we want. So if we want to use JPEG or we want to use PNG, we can do that. So again, if you know how to manipulate a design here, and you can actually go into the title and you know how to change the title and some of the letters and maybe even one of the images, this is an easy way to take a professional design and turn it into one for your videos. And it also demonstrates the fact that when you get a PSD file from the designer, all you'll need to do then is know how to manipulate their design so that you can begin placing it on all of your videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the other ways to arrange your content will be in terms of episodes and seasons. As you can see here in this particular title, you can see that there are 10 seasons, and you can get access to them inside of Amazon. There are also episodes inside of each season. So if we change this season to a particular one, all the episodes then change. This gives you the opportunity to do a different kind of information video while arranging it all under one title. Now you can also arrange your content by channel. And as you can see here, there are a number of companies that already have channels where they have all of their content. Now there are some specific parameters, and we will go over that right now. So in this session, we'll discuss episodes and channels. So in addition to creating a standalone title, you can also create what's called an episodic title. And in this case, a title can have multiple episodes, which is also a series, or multiple seasons, as you can see. And since you're more likely to be communicating business information, you can think in terms of having one title with different subjects or episodes and different volumes or updates, even though they will be called series and episodes. So what you have here when you're using the episodes and seasons is you have more latitude over the process when you use episodes. Now, when you're creating your content, you're branding your graphics, you want to think of this in terms of how you're going to actually arrange your series when you place it in Amazon Video Direct. Now, with respect to channels, they are available when you have a minimum of 200 standalone titles or 50 seasons available for a minimum of 18 months. That's quite a bit of content, but it may be something that you want to build toward. Now, once these titles are included as a channel, though, they can no longer be included as Prime Video. So one thing you can think about as you begin creating content is creating titles with eventually having a channel for your content. Now, currently, as the program is fairly new, there aren't that many information and business-based channels available on Amazon Video Direct. So there's plenty of room for you to create your content. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to produce an episodic video title. So to get started, we're going to click Your Videos. We're then going to click episodic. We're then going to click Add Series, and we're going to give our series a title and synopsis. We will then pick a category, and then we'll pick our metadata language and click Continue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create our listing for the actual season, and we'll need to write in another synopsis for the season. We'll then click our genres. We'll then choose our language, and where it's applicable, we'll write in the original release year. Now again, you don't have to add a rating, but if you want to do it that way, you want to click Suggested Rating, Title Not Officially Rated, and then make it available for all ages. You'll then upload your graphics according to the right dimensions. And once you have your seasonal information in, you'll then click Save. We'll then move on to the creator. Remember, you are going to need to make sure that you have at least one crew member mentioned. Now, if you really don't have a cast member, you don't have to place one there. You can then click Save. You'll then be able to move on to individual episodes, and you'll start by adding a new episode. And of course, each individual episode will have its own title, release date, synopsis, the video file, the captions file, and an optional art file. Now, once you upload episodes, what you'll need to do is you'll need to select the language, the frame rate, and then the language for the captions. Again, you'll want to make sure your transcription is going to be an SRT file, and then you'll click Save. Amazon Video Direct will start the upload process for your video. You then want to go to your Availability tab. You want to make it available in the locations where you want it to be seen. And again, you can determine either base pricing or value pricing. Again, that's based on your preference. And once you've done that, you'll then click Save. And once you've completed all 4 sections, you are then ready to publish your video so that others can begin to watch on Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, when you're recording demonstration style videos and you are displaying what is on your screen for the people who are watching your video, there are a couple of things that you will want. One of the first things you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you're using the highest resolution possible on the screen where you're going to be displaying your demo and narration. So for example, you'll notice here that for this monitor where we're recording the video, the resolution is 1920 by 1080, which is considered to be HD. If possible, that's the resolution that you'll want to use, or at minimum, you'll want to use 1280 by 720. Now, when you are demonstrating content on the web, one distraction that routinely happens to video creators is they show the address bar, and sometimes they even show typing. If you can avoid doing that, one of the ways that you can accomplish this is to set up any tabs that you're going to open before you start recording. So for example, we're going to open up 5 tabs. So you'll notice that we have open Amazon, Google, Facebook, and YouTube. One of the ways that we can record this is we can record this by going to our browser and hitting the F11 key, which will take us to full screen mode. What that does is that eliminates the address bar, and you can demonstrate your screen without your viewer seeing it. And one of the other things that you can do while you're using this mode is you can switch back and forth between tabs by hitting the Control and the Tab key. And you can move between screens. Control then Tab. You move to the Google screen, Control then Tab. You can move to the next, which is the Facebook screen, Control then Tab, and we move back to the screen where we started. We can also tab through pages while we're in full screen mode. So for example, if we click a link and we go to some other pages, What we'll need to do now if we want to go backwards is we'll hit the Alt key and then we'll hit the left arrow, and that'll take us back one screen. We'll hit the Alt key and the left arrow, that'll take us back another screen. We'll click the Alt key and the left arrow, and that'll take us back to the very beginning. If we click the Alt key and then the right arrow key, that'll take us forward. We'll do it again, and that'll take us forward one more screen. If we want the address bar to appear again, we can click F11, and then our screen reflects the fact that the address bar is now visible. Now in the next video, we'll go through a few more tips that you'll need to record your demonstration style video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. Welcome back. If you go inside of your account settings, you'll notice that you have yourself as an administrator, and you may have someone that you invited. You can invite other individuals in order to help you manage the account. In order to do that, you're going to click Invite Users. You're going to write in the individual's name and email address. And once you've entered that individual's name, you're going to select a role for them. Now you can make for them a custom role, you can make for them an administrator role, or you can make it so they can look at your account only. Now for the sake of this video, we're going to choose a custom role. And then we're going to determine what we want them to see. And in this case, we're giving the individual access to the ability to add, modify, and publish video titles so that they can help us to manage the account. We're not going to give them access to sales reports. We're not going to give them access to the ability to add new users. We're not going to give them access to any banking information. Once we have all that, where we want to determine how the individual is going to interact with the account, we're then going to click Send Invite. Then that individual will reflect an invite pending. Now the individual is going to get an email asking them to click a link to accept your invitation. They'll then click this link. Now if the individual does not have an Amazon account, they'll need to create one, or they can use their existing Amazon account. Then the person that you added will then have access to your Prime Video Direct account. And if you refresh your page or hit F5, you should see that the individual is then part of your account. You can always go in and edit their custom settings. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. When you're inside of your account, what you're going to do first is you're going to come up to the drop-down arrow. You're going to set up your new account. You're going to be brought to the digital license agreement. You want to read through this license agreement. Once you've done that, you're going to come all the way to the bottom and then click Agree. You're then going to want to set up your administrator profile. And you can set up a second administrator who can serve as a backup. Once you've done that, you'll click Save and Continue. Amazon will then have you set up a bank account in order to set up your account. Once you enter in the information, you can then click Save. You can also add in a second bank account if that is what you prefer. You'll then be asked to create tax information, so you'll need to click this link. And once your tax information is validated, you'll then click Exit Interview. Once you've done that, your account will then be set up and you are ready then to begin uploading videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.